The population of Palace Lake was ever dwindling, making it difficult for criminals of the docks to assemble a proper crew. As time went on, they even ran out of marks. Out of necessity, they turned to the smaller creatures, those tiny enough to evade detection by the creeping darkness. These familiars proved useful, crawling into tight spaces and distracting the guards. However, their greatest function was providing these solitary rogues with a bit of levity, a small light in a sea of darkness. Committing crimes is cool. In Dungeons & Dragons, I would never suggest someone commit a crime in real life. However, the road of a criminal can be a lonely one, and there's no better way to fix loneliness than with a little pet. That's why I made the Stray Rogue. This subclass gets you a little buddy and teaches that buddy the tricks of the trade. But if you want to learn the tricks of the trade to save time at lunchtime, there's only one tip you need. Today's sponsor, Factor. That's right, gamers, this video is sponsored by Factor. They send you fresh, never frozen meals that are ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you gotta do is pop them in the microwave and they're ready to eat. Factor is a great way to replace your weekly takeout. It's healthier, it's tastier, and it's ready faster. It's also cheaper. Those delivery apps love adding fees. I hate getting extra fees. Feels like I'm being tricked. Factor is also a lot more friendly to your dietary needs and restrictions. You want to be calorie smart? Factor's got you. Vegetarian, vegan? Factor's got you. Keto? Oh, they're on it. Or you can just go chef's choice and let them pick for you. I have yet to have a bad meal from Factor, and I've been doing this for years now. They are all delicious. To get started with Factor today, go to factor75.com and enter offer code 52Tulok at checkout for 50% off your first box and free shipping. Again, that's factor75.com, or click the link in the description and enter offer code 52Tulok at checkout for 50% off your first box and free shipping. Now, let's find out how this rogue works with a little buddy. Starting out at level 3, you get Pest Control, letting you cast the Find Familiar spell as a ritual. This gets you your little buddy for the day. But your little buddy is a little better than other little buddies. First, you get to choose a number of skills equal to 1/3 your rogue level, rounded up, that you are proficient with. Your little buddy is now proficient with those too. Acrobatics, Stealth, Perception. Your little buddy is going to be one sharp customer. Next, your familiar gets a way to communicate with simple gestures and sounds appropriate to its form. Pointing, jumping up and down, going, you know, that kind of thing. But what if your little buddy dies because the DM is a big meanie and you said, I have a little animal buddy, and they said, I'll just kill that? Well, hopefully that will happen a little less, because it gets an extra d6 of HP for every 2 levels you have in Rogue, again, rounded up. It's not going to be some big tanky thing, but it should help it not die immediately. And finally, your familiar is able to attack and can wield all weapons you are proficient with proficiency. Now, does this mean a crab can run around with a great axe? Yes, but it will be bad at using it, because there are a few penalties. One, if the weapon isn't light, your animal is going to be making their attacks with disadvantage. And if the weapon is heavy, they're going to make it with disadvantage -5. Add in the fact that most Find Familiar options have like -4 strength modifiers. The idea of having it use a great axe just simply is unfeasible. Now, a hand crossbow, a crab with a gun, a crab with a knife. I've decided it's a crab, by the way. I think it's just because I love Another Crab's Treasure. We're probably using that for the background footage here. Seems appropriate. You're also an ally of the small at 3rd level, giving you animal handling proficiency and expertise in the skill. It's pretty simple, but rogues gotta get extra skills, or at least a tool proficiency. There isn't really a tool proficiency appropriate for someone who wrangles an animal. There's no like wrangler's tools. There are Wrangler jeans, but that's just something you wear to a session. It's not something your character wears. So I decided to throw on the animal handling and give expertise in it. That seems like a fair compromise. Now, unfortunately, Rogue just has a huge gap between the first thing you get and the second thing you get. It's like 3rd level and then 6 levels of nothing from the subclass. Obviously, you get good stuff as a rogue, but if you're like playing in a weekly game and get to level up once a month, which I think is pretty reasonable, it's 6 months worth of time. That kind of sucks. I should make a video encouraging DMs to level up their players more. That's something I truly believe. We'll talk about that later. Maybe, yeah, you know, maybe I'll make that video. It's fine. At 9th level, you become an expert tamer, meaning that if you've got expertise in one of the skills you chose for your critter to be proficient with when you cast Find Familiar, they are also experts in that. I'm aware that athletics is a rogue skill, and this means that you could get a cat that can bench press, but realistically, again, most Find Familiar options have like -4 penalties to their strength. So even if you do give them athletics expertise, that's only going to make that like a +3 modifier instead of something crazy like a +12. I'm really proud of the 13th level name. It's Combat Critter. That makes it so that when your critter gets a critical hit, you see the crit pun? Wow, me and Matt Mercer, same guy. When your Find Familiar gets a critical hit, the enemy is stunned until the beginning of your next turn. Something I forgot to mention, Find Familiar on a rogue is already fantastic because they can give you the help action on your attack rolls to give you advantage, but you can also set up flanking. And especially with your Find Familiar having a little more HP, they become a much better flanker. So you can flank with your buddy and hopefully get a few more crits. I mean, rolling with advantage doubles the crit chance. I know that statistically it's not exactly doubles, but like, I don't know, go outside. At the 17th level, you become a perfect team with your little buddy, and your little buddy can get sneak attacks. The capstone of the Thief Rogue lets you get 2 sneak attacks per turn, so I think giving a sneak attack to a little buddy who has probably less attacks than you is fair for a capstone ability. The perk here is that your little buddy can fly and just be somewhere that you aren't, so you don't have to hit the same person. It's worse at getting its sneak attack than you are, but it can be somewhere else. So those are all of the abilities with the Stray Rogue, but I know what you sickos are looking for. You're looking for multi-classing ideas, and oh boy, oh baby, ooh, I got them. Battlesmith Artificer could be pretty good, giving you another little buddy so you can just build your own little party, have 3 people running around. It also would let you make infusions to make your little buddy a little more accurate with something like Repeating Shot or Enhanced Weapon. Fighter Ranger and Paladin are all going to be fun options, giving you access to martial weapons and giving your little buddy access to martial weapons. Whether or not they'll be good at using those martial weapons remains to be seen, but they will be an option. Clerics, Druids, Wizards, Sorcerers, Warlocks, all of these give you options to buff your buddy. Y'all know I am a big proponent of the Haste spell, or at least I hope you do. Bless would also be great. Anything that makes something better can make your little buddy better. Wow, what a novel concept. Warlock specifically, though, you could go with Pact of the Chain and also get the Pact of the Chain specific bonuses to your familiar and use a familiar that's a pseudo-dragon, an Imph, or a Quasit, I think it is. Is it a Quasit? I don't have it in front of me. I'm not checking. Is it a Mephite? Smell Mephite. I'm not flexible enough to get my feet in the shot. Bard would give you more expertises, which would also give your buddy more expertises. Though it's a third of your rogue level rounded down, so it would at most cap out at 6 different expertises. So that's only something that would happen if you took the 3 levels of Bard to get expertise and then hit level 17 and rounded up. So a lot of investment there to get 6 expertises on your little buddy, but you sure could. You sure could. And if it was a flavor thing, like you just wanted to multi-class to Bard anyway, do a Pied Piper sort of thing, the expertise would still carry over. This one really benefits on staying in one class. There's a lot of specific to your rogue level abilities that kind of stop it from jumping around. I know that might sound like a bit of a bummer, especially from the multiclassing guy. Am I the multiclassing guy? Everyone says I multiclass too much. We're going to say I'm the multiclassing guy. But I really feel like it's fair. Doing it with total player level would mean you get like all of the benefits of fully focusing on your pet without any penalties. Hey, training a pet to do tricks, that takes time. And that could take time away from learning how to, I don't know, cast Fireball at the 9th level. What do you think of the Stray Rogue? Are there any multi-classes I missed? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We're going to keep working on this series and hopefully maybe make a few other D&D videos like the one I thought about where you should get to level up more. Maybe I'll try and get some of those out. I'm just working really hard on a bunch of different stuff on a bunch of different channels. Tulok time, I'm playing games that are fun. Go check that out. Magic the Gathering stuff is on Tulok the Barbrarian. And of course, we got the Elden Ring stuff over on Tulok and Mango. Night Rain's coming out. If you want to see that, that's where that's going to be, obviously. All right. Bye-bye.